Hi everyone, welcome to episode 155 of the Art Podcast. I am Jan,
Just
and how are we doing this week?
tired.
Yes.
Tired. I
It's
just
kind of hard to put anything else but tired at the moment.
yeah, this current show I'm on for a week is just a lot.
Did you
So
finally finish the other one?
the other one is done. I'm just doing this other one for a week. But it won't really matter because it's like a week in Monday and then I'm gone anyway, so
Yeah.
that's the other
There's been a
thing.
lot of
So
changes. There's been a lot of changes at work since last week. Still processing and adapting to all of that. I
yeah.
think I spent like most of today recording voicemails for
Love
work.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Listen,
so
I barely
now when
answer
people
phone calls.
when now people call us, they get my beautiful voice in both French and English.
Oh, wow. That's so nice.
Like to the point I was recording with like two of my team leads, like my direct manager and then my team lead. They were
Mm-mm.
both in the call as I was recording all of these voicemails. And they like the last one I recorded, they were like, honestly, I didn't even know if it was live or if it was the actual recording. They're like so good at this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I've been on the phone a lot.
What can I say?
Against my wishes, but I've been on the phone a
I
lot.
this is not my choice. Let me just put that out there. This is not my choice.
I was like, thanks for the compliment.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all in all, it's like a bunch of fun stuff on the K-pop side of things. So, I mean, that's why we're here, aren't we?
That's why we're here. Yeah, it's uh I have a week left and then I'm leaving. So it's getting
Oh my
it's
God.
getting
In
close.
30 days from today, from the time we're recording this, I will be in the air towards my hometown.
Yay.
I'm so excited. You don't even know.
I will be leaving this place, which I'm excited about. That's all I'm excited about. Because we
I
just
have,
got a ass ton of snow.
I was gonna say I have a bunch of friends like back in like the Scandinavian countries or like in the UK it's been snowing as well. And I'm like, listen, I'm excited for an actual white Christmas this year.
I'm not. I want this to go away.
No, I want it just for Christmas. Other than that, it can leave.
No, I don't want any of this that's outside right now. Absolutely none.
Yeah, here's just been wet. Wet and windy.
We got our first snowfall on Monday, so
Yeah, that's Kansas City though. Wet and windy.
it's just been cold. It's
Yeah.
minus 17 right now or something. So,
I'm sitting pretty over here at my where is it? 9 degrees
oh,
Celsius. Yeah.
well, at least you're in the positives.
Yeah, but like my brother-in-law runs the AC even at this temperature, so I'm
Oh,
freezing but inside.
yeah, Matt, my brother, he runs the fan in the middle of it could be minus 50 outside, and he's still running the fan.
Yeah,
So
the ceiling fans is one thing, but like the AC is another.
yeah, he's got one of those rotating fans, and
Yep.
I'm like, what are we do? Why?
Because yeah,
Why?
both Jacob and my brother-in-law, they both run really hot. And so my sister and I are just like, I mean,
Cold.
we're gonna yeah, we're cold, but at least we can bundle up.
Yeah, I got a heated blanket, so I just turned that
Yes.
on.
I have like a blanket that I'm sitting on, then I have a blanket that I'm covered with. I
Yeah,
have socks in my slippers,
it's all
and
of
my
those things.
feet are still cold.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my feet are cold all the time. It just is.
But it's been pretty nice this week. When it wasn't raining, we were able to have like the windows like cracked. So
Oh.
that's been really nice because during the summer, that's not something we can do like whatsoever because of how hot and humid it gets.
Mm.
So whenever we're able to do that, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I can't open the windows right now.
Yeah.
The pipes would freeze if I did that, so
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
100%.
I'm gonna not be doing that.
Oh yeah, that's like a scary thing because like our washer and
Yeah.
dryer are in the garage, and so our dryer like is having like not the dryer, the washer. Not the washer itself is fine, but like one of
Mm.
the pipes is kind of leaking from the previous
Uh,
owners that did a botched job at like fixing their pipes. And so we're like, we gotta get this fixed before it actually freezes.
it's a thing.
Because it's an old washer, but it still works really well. So we want to spare its life for as long as possible.
Yeah, it's fair. Washers are and dryers are expensive.
Yeah. But anyway, we have what seems like a lot, but really mostly Jin's new album to
Yes.
go through this week.
Yes.
So let's go as in our fanshan order as usual. Since we last saw each other 2 weeks ago, we got the interview one intro for Right Place, Wrong Person.
Yes, we're getting the doc finally. I think I'm gonna miss it though, which is kind of sad. Like
Because you're gonna be in
I'm
Japan.
gonna be in Japan and they're not having their theater dates until 2025.
Yeah, theirs are
So
always later.
yeah. So I'm gonna miss the theater experience for the documentary. But I'm hoping maybe they'll put it like on Weverse
They
or
probably should. They've done it with like all of the last, like all the other
yeah, or
parts.
like Disney Plus or like something where I can watch it later. Because I obviously like want to see it, but I'm just
Yeah.
not going to be here for that.
Yeah, because it's not like a movie where they have like 1,000 dates or like it airs for like 2 weeks
No,
or
it's
whatever.
yeah,
It's like
it's
1 or 2 dates and that's
yeah.
about it.
And that's about it. And it's like smack dab in the middle of when I'm not gonna be here.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So
That sounds about right.
yeah, I'm like part of me is like kind of sad about it because I'm not gonna be here to see it, but I'm also gonna be in Japan, so it's like
Yeah, it's kind of like balancing.
it's balancing out in like a very odd way. But like I'm excited for everybody else to like see the doc and like to revisit right place, wrong person. Why does Junie have to have these elaborate titles sometimes?
I know, right?
Um, but I'm excited like for all the armies to like go and see it and go to the theater and like revisit that album because
Hmm.
she is an icon.
Oh
She
yeah.
is.
Every single one of all of their albums, but I mean, we've said this before. Junie has a way with words and he's like so wise beyond his
Yeah.
years and it's always
I
like a pleasure to like
yeah,
rack his brain on how he does things.
100%, 100%. Because like,
So
you know, like back in the day before we like did documentaries and all this kind of stuff, Junie would like sit down and go through the album with us like on live and go through the process of how they wrote all of the songs and how they like
mhm.
created all of the music and stuff.
Yeah,
And
he was
so
already like basically doing his own like
yeah,
live documentary
yeah.
basically.
He was giving us like free sessions basically. So now the fact that we get to like see it on a big screen is really like exciting.
Yeah,
And I'm excited for
absolutely.
all the armies to go and see it finally.
Yes, I'm still 50-50 on if I will or not because everything has been so freaking hectic.
Yeah.
Like to a point where I'm like, am I even sleeping?
I'm not, so
I know you're not, but you already weren't.
true.
Let's be good here.
True. Let's be real here.
But let's I mean go on to the big chunk of what this week's episode will be
Yeah.
about. So, Happy is finally out.
Yay!
So as we usually do, we'll go through song by song
Yeah.
and then, do a little breakdown of what we like and like what like intricacies or like little details that we found out and just like talk about the album and songs in general.
Mm-hmm.
So let me re-pull this back up. All right. So our title track,
Oh, I
because
freaking love it. It's so fun. It's so like poppy and bouncy and just like such a fun vibe.
yeah, if you're living under a rock, it's Running Wild.
Yes.
So
Yeah, Running Wild is it's so fun. I love the idea around this song of like running free, without burden, without like anything. I love like the concept that he created with this song, and the music video to go along with it is excellent. I feel like it's also like a continuation of The Astronaut, like
Oh,
where
absolutely. I was gonna say it was like
yeah,
Jin loves his asteroids.
he does love his asteroids. I also love how he said during the live concert, which we'll talk about, that like he didn't want to like disappear.
Yeah.
Like from armies, he didn't want to like disappear fully, so he didn't like get beamed up by the aliens.
Oh, you
Or
mean
like
like La Seraphim did?
yeah, or like die by one of the the asteroids. He's just like in
Yeah.
the movie theater watching himself, I guess.
He's like, huh?
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 But I love yeah, I love this song. It's so fun. It's like definitely like a summer song to me. Like it definitely has that like really freeing fun vibe
Oh
that
yeah,
I think we
absolutely.
all
I feel like all in all, like just as a kind of englobing the entire album, I
yeah,
was like with the title, like of the name of the album and everything, it just feels like a big hug.
it does feel like a big
And
hug.
coming from Jin, it's not surprising because I mean,
No.
just with everything he did right out of the military, it's
Yeah,
like it is so like BTS, but especially Jin coded.
100%.
How he's like army at the middle of everything, and it's
Yeah.
like that's why like army's my earth, I'm its moon, blah blah blah. I'm just like rotating around
Yeah.
army, and this like all in all, it's just
Encompasses
like
that.
yeah.
I think he wanted to be extra I think he wanted to be extra because he was the first to go into the military and he didn't have
Yeah.
enough time to sort of spend with us before he had to leave. And
Yeah,
I
his
think
was basically just like, oh,
I gotta
announcement,
go.
okay, bye.
Yeah. I mean, he had to do what he had to do, right? Like, it is what
Yeah.
it is. That's irrelevant at this point because his service is done.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think like this entire, even like the sadder sort of melodic ballad songs
Yeah.
still have like a happy undertone that's sort of carrying. And I think like honestly, sometimes you have to be like sad in order to be happy. Like you have to go
Oh yeah.
through
You
those
have to go and feel
emotions.
those emotions, absolutely.
Yeah, like in order to be like really happy, I feel like you have to feel all the emotions, even though we don't want to. And if you guys have been watching us for a while, you know I don't necessarily like to outwardly express those emotions. But I do think it's
Yeah, sometimes
important.
like just, just. You gotta feel those. Just.
Yes. But I do think it's important to still be able to go through those emotions and at the end of the day you come out like a healthier, happier person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But what did you think also of the live clip?
Oh my God, so good. Like his voice is so incredible live. Like I can't even he's just so talented. Like I don't know, like his ability to go in and out of like that his higher register and his lower register is just incredible. He
Mm-hmm.
has such a large range out of the BTS members,
It's so
especially
wild.
it's like
Like people
so
sleep on
large.
his vocals.
They really do. Like a lot of the time people call him like the silver fox because his voice is just so like tinny, like in a good way. It
Yeah.
has this like really interesting like ringing quality to it that like just like hits you in the heart like so
It's
hard.
so wild how how all four of the vocal line have such different
Oh, they're
voices,
so different.
and
They're
yet they're all
so
in
different.
one group,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
we're
It's
blessed.
crazy. We are so blessed. Like honestly, it's wild now that we have all of their solo work together. And we can talk about this once we finish like going over the album.
Yeah.
Um, but it's so wild the differences between each of their solo albums that they were like they're all a part of the same group and yet every single one of their solo work has been so different and
I mean,
so
that's what makes
diverse.
this group so rich.
Yeah. It's just it's so good. It's so so good. And I think it's just going to make them a better group overall. Like when they all get back together, I think it's just going to make them
Oh, yeah.
so much stronger um now that all of their solo work is sort of chapter 2 has now been completed with the addition of Jin's album here.
Absolutely. All right, second song, I'll Be There.
It's so
I mean,
cute.
I
It's
yeah.
it's so like I love like the subtle like rock vibes,
And
the
he uses a lot more of like his I think they call it like your chest voice.
yeah.
He's like lower register.
Yeah, it's
And
great.
I freaking love that. I
Again,
love this song.
I love Rockstar Jin. Everybody should know this by now. Listen, his ballads sit in a very special place to my heart because ultimately I am a sad girl underneath. And so I think like his ballads hit me probably the hardest out of like all of the members.
Mm-hmm.
But Rockstar Jin really just lights me up on the inside because rock and roll, it has been like a part of my life since I was a child, and I think like this hits really close to
Yeah.
the chest for me, which I love it. I love it so much. And it's
It's
such
it's
a
also it's also just such a good transition between
yeah.
Running Wild and then Another Level, which is the third song on the album.
Listen. 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 It's so good. It's so good.
It feels so dramatic, but
It's so dramatic, and for what? Like I love it though. Like don't get me wrong. It's incredible. His voice is like so good on that song. It's like made for that like hard-hitting rock ballad vibe that I'm
oh
just
yeah.
like give it to me.
Also, Jin is one of our kings of like OSTs too, and it just
Yes.
it works so good.
This song honestly feels like an OST to me. Like it feels like it should be like in, I don't know, like a gaming sort of like ultimate showdown
Oh yeah,
vibe, you
like an
know?
esport
Yeah,
K
like an
drama kind of
esport.
thing.
Yeah. Like an esport like final round
It's like
competition.
this is the finals or
Exactly,
like
yeah.
the championship. Yeah, no, I see it. I 100 see it.
That's like immediately what I thought of when I heard this song for the first time. I was like, "Oh, this is Jin at like an esports competition like
Okay, I know like
doing it."
Falling Into Your Smile is a C drama, but like put this song in there.
Put this song in, you know what I
Put
mean? Because
it
like the gift that he gave armies at the like live stream was a gaming controller, and so I'm like, come on, come on,
and it's
come
called
on.
Another Level.
It's called Another Level. Like, come on, this is made for esports. I swear to God. And he's like, he's a gamer, so like,
Hey, listen, it was
come on.
probably made with that in mind, and
I,
we
I
don't
know,
know.
I know, Jin. 100% it was. 100% it was. 100%.
All
100%.
right, Falling, track 4.
Again, I love it. I like this album is no skips. I'm telling you that right
Oh
now.
yeah, no,
I'm
I just like
telling
while I was
you.
like working most of the day, I just had the album and I was just listening to the entire
Yes.
thing.
Falling is such a interesting song because it's like a sad like it has like that ballad quality, but it's not quite a ballad like I Will Come to You. It's like in the middle of Another Level and I Will Come to You, I feel like. Like
Yeah,
it kind of has that like ballady quality, but it's also like kind of like fun in a
yeah,
way.
it's just it's hard to kind of like pinpoint exactly where it would be.
Yeah.
But it just like it's just so unique in its own way, which is I
Yeah.
mean, you could say that to like every single freaking song,
It's
but
true. It's true. It's true. It really is. But out of like all of them, I feel like Falling is the uniquest one. It's not necessarily in his pocket, but it
yeah.
is at the same time because it's so like different in comparison to everything else on the album. But I love it. Like I feel like it still fits.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Especially in between Another Level and Heart on the Window. I feel like it's like the perfect like lineup here of songs. I love it.
Yeah. Speaking of Heart on the Window with Wendy of Red Velvet.
Listen,
It's
this song
so
is
good.
so good.
I
It's
probably
so good.
probably my favorite on the album.
It's such a tie for me between this one and I Will Come to You, only because, like I said before, I'm just a sad girl at heart, and the
Yeah.
ballads of Jin get me in that
But
spot.
also Jiz and Wendy's voice just mesh so
They mesh
well.
so well together. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
her voice
Kind of
is,
unexpected,
yeah,
but I'm here for it.
but I'm here for it. Especially because, like, for me personally, like, I'm not, we've talked about this before, but I'm
Yeah.
not into girl groups and I don't necessarily know Red Velvet. Like, I know some of their songs, but,
Yeah, I
like,
don't either. I'm not like following them as I do like ITZY or the Seraphim, for
yeah, like,
example.
I'm not. I'm not in their fandom and I'm not like in them as like an artist, so I don't necessarily know like all of the lore and like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I do really love the mixture between Jin and Wendy's voice. I feel like they
The
are
texture between the two of their
oh,
voices is like
it's so good.
it's chef's kiss.
Oh my God. And the way that they're like bouncing off of each other almost like and like flowing into each other. It's just oh God, it's so good. And that the fact that she surprised everybody on day 2 by showing up
Yeah.
and performing,
At the stages, yeah.
they sounded
Absolutely.
so freaking good together. Like incredible live. Like her voice is so good and she's so gorgeous. And for
Oh yeah,
what?
there is no doubt about Red Velvet's talent.
Damn, like
And
their
so
visuals are
I was like,
crazy.
I had zero doubts.
No, I
And
didn't have any
so
doubt.
when I saw, I was just like, this is gonna be fire.
It's gonna be fire.
It's
Like,
gonna be fire.
and it is fire. Like
It is, yeah.
it's so good. It's one of the best songs on the album for sure. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love it so much.
It's kind of like a collab we were not expecting, but
Yes.
also like
But what we
happily
needed.
surprised.
You know what I love about BTS is their collabs, especially with female artists, have been so good. Like on their solo albums, all of them have been like
Yeah, because I was
so
gonna
good.
say there's one that I can think of that we shall not.
We're not gonna name that one, but besides that one, all of their other collabs with women have been so strong and so good. Like, I don't know, they just been doing it right, you know? Like they're
I mean,
fine.
it's just been doing music right in general.
I mean,
so,
it's BTS. I did not expect anything less, honestly. Honestly, didn't expect anything less.
Lucy is currently biting Suki's butt. I
Doggos.
think this
Doggo's gonna dog. Let's talk about I Will Come to You.
I Will Come to You.
So
What
sad.
finale
So
for this
sad.
album.
Oh my God, it's so sad, but I love it so much. This is the kind of stuff that I'm here for. You know what I mean? Like, I just need a good cry sometimes, and Jin's songs, without fail, get me to the place I need to be.
Abyss. Yours.
Come on.
Excuse
Epiphany?
me?
Like,
Epiphany.
God. Awake? Like, what are we doing?
That's what I'm telling you. OST
Screaming.
King.
Throwing up.
Crying in the club.
Crying in the club. That's how I feel. Honestly, that's genuinely how I feel. Crying in the club.
Crying in the club.
All day, every day. I think, like, overall, this is such a strong solo work, especially because it's Jin's first solo work. Besides, like, Super Tuna and, like, Astronaut and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think, like, those were a taste of what his abilities were when it comes to a solo album.
Yeah.
And I think this is both unexpected in the way you know that like I wasn't sure.
And also very expected.
It's very like it's very expected because there's a lot of like ballads and a lot of like really fun songs that we know that he is obviously very talented at and always willing to do. But I
listen to this album and you're like, oh yeah, this is Jin.
This is very Jin. Like it's super Jin. I love the mixture between like genres. We have like a bunch of different like fun things that have been added in here, especially those like the rock elements are excellent.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It's such a strong album overall.
I love that like more K-pop groups have been like dabbling in more like rock elements.
Me too. Listen,
like in the recent years, and I am honestly living for it. I mean, just as a note, like TXT, we've talked about this before, but it's just like a type of sound that fits them so well.
Yeah.
And honestly, as BTS dabbles more into it as well, it does fit them like a lot too.
Yeah.
So I really hope that they keep doing that.
Me too. I hope that they add like now that we have like all of the solo albums like together as a whole, I think we will be getting more and more like diversity with BTS's albums. And more like experimentation, which I'm really excited about.
We're still waiting for that Trod BTS song.
Where is it? Where
Yoongi,
is
you promised.
Yoongi? Where is it? You promised, boy. I need it. I need it.
No, but as we mentioned earlier, it's like it's so, I mean, we already knew this, but it's
Yeah.
so wild how seven completely different people
Yeah.
basically just be like brought together like 11 years ago and just went with it. And these seven solo albums is just like more of it, like even more of a testament to
Yeah.
how different they are, but how
100%.
they complement each other at the same time.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like now that like chapter 2 is sort of finished because Jin is the
Yeah, it's
finale of chapter 2.
basically just yeah, on that tail end of things.
And I think like reflecting back on all that we've gotten through chapter 2, I'm just like so proud of them that they were able to just like experiment and be themselves and figure out what their voice is as an individual. Because
And
I
try new things
and try
because
new
they definitely
things and
definitely did.
yeah, like experiment with things and especially the like members who hadn't put out a solo album before this point or like an EP or anything like that before this point. I think it's just such a great way to like showcase yourself as an individual. Um
Mm-hmm.
and once they get back together next year, I feel like that will be amplified when the group gets back together and they
Oh
start
yeah,
doing more group
absolutely.
stuff. And I'm just really excited to see like what chapter 3 is going to be
I
about and
cannot wait. This is gonna be so good
it's going
because
to
now
be
that
so
they've
good.
all like, especially the vocal line, which hadn't done it as much
Yeah.
as a rap line,
Yeah.
they dabbled a lot more in like producing and
Yeah,
like
writing and
songwriting and everything. And
yeah.
so it's just gonna bring such like differences, yes, but also just enhance what they were already
Yeah.
doing as a group. And it's gonna be
Yeah.
so great. I
It's
cannot wait.
it's going to give so much flavor and I think we sort of got a taste with that with B because they wrote and
Yeah.
produced and directed all the music videos and like had all of their influence all over
It
that
was like a
album.
prelude.
And I feel like that's what we're going to be getting like carrying on from this of like their voices are going not that their voices weren't before because obviously like Jinnie and Jhope and Yoongi were like writing a lot of the songs as it is
Mm-hmm.
anyway, but I think adding in the vocal line as well more will enhance the work that's going to be done for
Absolutely.
BTS in the future. And I think like this is such a great jumping off point for all of them uh
Oh
to
yeah.
like you know
I mean,
and
it
I'll
shows they've been having a lot of fun with all of these
yeah
projects, and it shows.
it
And I mean,
shows
again, we've talked about it before. It's like we could see just the growth and the
yeah
self-reflection and work that they've all done on themselves
100%
during this chapter two, especially is like I like obviously we can't really talk too much about it because we are female and not Korean, but I feel like for like a lot of testaments for like Korean male that like went into the military, it's a lot of self-reflection as they're going through their service.
mm-hmm.
And so obviously that brings a lot of like things out of themselves that they can also add to their
Yeah.
music and their lives in general. And I again just cannot wait to see where things goes because it can only go up from here.
Oh yeah 100%. I like they have they're they're limitless at this point
Oh yeah.
like I think for chapter 1 we got a major taste of what they could accomplish and what they could do, but I think
Hmm.
chapter 3 will be like even more than that and they'll
Yeah.
achieve even greater things than that.
Dudes are self-sufficient now.
Yeah, I mean they they have like all of the power to do whatever the hell they want. And that's what
Yep.
makes me excited about this new chapter that we're going to be going into is how much control they're going to have over all of the stuff that they put out
Okay, I'm
going forward.
intending this pun. I'm very much intending this pun.
Oh, okay, okay.
Let them run wild.
I love it. I love
There
it.
you
I love
go.
it. I love it.
But
It's so
Jinnie's been
great.
on a bunch of like shows,
Yes.
on
Promoting.
YouTube's. Yep, doing his promotion stuff.
Yep. He also
Um,
this week is going to be in NYC
yep.
for on Jimmy Fallon. So that's
They
gonna be
all gonna have their
exciting.
Jimmy Fallon little moment.
Got to.
But yeah, we're not gonna go into details of like all these promotions. They're all across YouTube.
Yeah.
Because I haven't been able to watch all of them yet, so I'm trying.
Yeah. His concert over the weekend was so freaking adorable. I wasn't able to catch like Saturdays, but I caught Sundays because it was a little bit earlier in the evening.
Hey, you caught the one with Wendy,
I did
so
catch the one with Wendy. It was so sweet. I love, first of all, pulling out a PowerPoint presentation in the middle of a concert. Jin, my
are you
guy.
surprised? Are you really
No,
surprised?
no, no, I'm really not. I'm like genuinely not.
He's your bias.
I know. As a millennial, I get it. I understand. I love like he him and I are so similar. He's such a yapper. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's such a yapper. And so am I. Like you get me on a topic and I can like
Hey,
yap
listen,
about
I
it.
love you both for it. So
Yeah. Yapper's gonna yap is
Gabber's
basically
gonna yap.
what that is. I also like loved like the different stages we got with like all of the different songs. I love how he performed Moon.
Oh my God. I saw the clip on TikTok of what I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was during the PowerPoint presentation or whatever, where it's like, what are kids are gonna say when I'm like, what is your dream when I'm 60 years old? They're just gonna think I'm weird.
I love how he was like fighting with Army the entire time. And
Yeah.
my thing was like, you're not gonna win, my guy. Like,
No, you're not.
you're not
That's
winning
like
this.
JK being like, oh, I don't want to be called cute. And I'm like, you're cute.
You can be hot and cute at the same time, my guy.
Yeah.
You can be sexy and cute at the same time. It's a thing.
Yeah,
It's a thing.
it's fine.
It's fine. You don't have to be known as one thing. I feel like just let me put that out there. You don't
If
have to
there's
be
one thing, JK is known as everything. So
golden matinee for a reason.
exactly.
Just saying. Yeah, I just him fighting is like so it reminds me of that Run BTS episode where Yoongi is like asking Tae if he wants to do this and he's like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You want to do it? We'll do it.
Okay, do it. Yep.
That's what that reminds me of. It's like, please, I don't want this to be the choice. Okay, fine, it's the choice, I guess. We'll go with this one.
Yeah. Like for real, the young line especially with Army or like with their younger members are always like, I really don't want to do it, but you want
Then
to
I'll
do it,
do
so I'll
it.
still do it.
I'll do it. I also just love how he like hosted an entire like free concert for 2 days. Like
Yeah.
the man
You're
is
talking
just
about the man who the next day after his discharge went and hosted an event to hug 1,000 armies.
yeah, you got a good point here.
So,
Well,
but we got the Bangtan Bone. This is a good segue into our J-Hope segment. Got
yes.
the Bangtan Bone for the Running Wild challenge with Hobie. And boy,
Oh my god, it was so funny. I love how Jin is roasting main dancer. Like, what are we doing?
yeah.
How do we get to this point where Jin?
But it's always when Jin has his choreography that he's like, J-Hope, come on now.
Come on, what are you doing?
I
Come
was
on.
like, this is, like top choreo here.
It was just so funny. It's so funny.
It was 7 minutes of my life. Excuse me, 6 minutes and 47 seconds of my life that I will
Yes.
not get back.
No, not at
And I'm
all.
okay with it.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with it.
Considering that they made us watch Buttermelt for an hour.
Yeah, this is pretty. This is like a good time
This is
spent.
pretty okay.
You know what I mean? This is good time spent in comparison.
Go back to the buttermilk thing.
Oh, good God. Good God.
But otherwise, Hobie also came and saw us twice.
He did. He is in well, by the time we're recording this, he's probably back in Korea. But he was in LA.
Homeboy was in LA, yeah.
He was in LA. He said on his first live that he wanted to visit LA to just like go on vacation and like reset.
By the way, Hobie, I would like to apologize for the shit show that you witnessed while you were in LA.
Yikes.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Apologies in advance for that. But yeah, he was in LA just to like reset and recharge. He also said that he was working on stuff as well. So don't know what
When
that
is he
means.
not?
But
When is he not?
I assume because he did mention on the live about concert, and we already predicted this, that he would
Yep.
go on tour. So I think that he will definitely go on tour next year.
Yeah, it was either Jin or Hobie, but like whoever is the one that goes, bring the other one.
Bring the other one. But I think, yeah, I think it's gonna be Hobie. Probably Hope
Yeah.
on the Street Volume 2 is gonna be the prelude to that concert.
Yeah.
If he's working on stuff in LA, that's my thought process here. So everybody buckle up, get those Ticketmaster accounts ready. We ride at dawn is what that means. I just hope
Not
he
the we
adds
ride at
Canada.
dawn.
I just please add Canada onto the list, bro. I can't keep traveling to the
Oh,
United States of
God.
America. I don't want to.
Well, next time, hopefully, I'll be able to join you guys. Fingers crossed.
We'll see what happens. I
So,
don't.
well, I have a
Um,
job.
that's true. And he came on live a second time, which I unfortunately missed the second one because I was asleep.
Yeah, I
Sadness.
turned around. I think it happened while I was working. I turned around and one of my Discord blew up, and I'm like, well,
Hope he's on live. But he was packing up and getting ready to go back to Korea, so that's what he's doing. And he was just chatting with us, and he said he'd come back on live afterwards to like once he's back in Korea to come and chat with us again.
we
It was
need a
really
studio
funny
live.
in the studio live. It was really funny because the first time he was like, I'm really like, this is awkward. And I was like, why is it awkward?
Homie hasn't done it in a while.
Why is it awkward?
It's been 18 months.
It's not awkward. You're making it awkward by pointing that out. I feel like if you just would have left it, then it would
You
have been
could just
fine.
ask Jin for tips.
Or just like, I don't know, we just want to see your face. Like, I don't, like, you don't need to
Your
talk.
cute little face.
Yeah, like, you don't need to talk if you don't want to.
You know, you don't need to flex your muscles or anything, though it would be really nice.
I swear I like blacked out during that moment. I was like, how did we get here? Like, I don't
I saw it
understand.
on a clip on TikTok, and I was like, save.
I will be saving this and watching
Yeah.
this later. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, like my saves are like clips from lives or like whatever
Yeah.
from TXT and BTS, and then book talk.
Oh,
Rex.
God.
That's it. That's it.
You know what it is? Mine is just BTS and then hyphen and then TXT and that's
Yep.
it. That's
Sounds
that's
alright.
that's
And I have the occasional diabetes stuff.
of
I
course.
follow a lot of like type 1 diabetic on TikTok. That's why. Yeah. It's funny. When you live with it for 14 years, you gotta laugh.
sometimes.
But moving on. Well, TXT.
Yes, they also had a brand new album come out.
So the Star Chapter Sanctuary is officially out.
Yeah.
Do you want to go over the songs really quick?
Yeah.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Let me just re-pull this up. Start. Not start.
Star.
There we go. Okay. So another EP is finally out.
Yes.
We both are here, so always very exciting.
Obsessed.
So the first song on this album, I mean, it's been teased a lot because the challenge for it came out prior to the album coming out, so it's Heaven. So we knew at least like what the chorus sounded like, and it was already really addicting. And then you listen to the rest of it, and you're like, "Holy fuck!"
You're like, yes,
is so much better.
You're like, yes, all of this is yes. It's so, it's so good. I love it. It's so like bubbly and like happy and like just like I'm gonna use this word. I don't love it, but that's the only way I can describe this. Heavenly. Like their vocals are so.
It's just like it sounds like angels are singing.
Yeah, it's like so light and like airy and like I feel like I'm up in the clouds and I'm just like yes.
Oh yeah, we're thinking the exact same thing.
Yes, it's so good. I love it.
All right, Over the Moon.
Such a good title track.
I
Such
love this
a
song.
strong
It's
title track.
Such a good. I mean, you guys know how much I love my Chesubin. His falsettos
Ah!
are so good. So are Taehyun's, don't get
Oh
me
my
wrong.
god, Taeyeon.
But like
his vocals on this album like deserve their
oh my
own.
god, did you see that during like their special stage?
Yeah.
They freaking did
Yeah.
Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Yes, it's so good. It's also on Spotify. Go listen to it. It's so
last
good.
time we had Young Blood, now we got Love Story.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's so
excuse
good.
me?
It's so good. It's so good. I can't stop listening to it. It's so good.
It's
It's so good. It's so good.
Did
I
they
love it.
did they do the whole thing?
Yeah, it's on Spotify. Yeah.
You should have told me earlier, homie.
They announced it. It was on Weverse.
Yeah, but they are talking so much on the TXT Weavers that half the time I miss it.
It goes on Twitter too.
You know I'm not on Twitter really anymore.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. But yeah, Over the Moon is like it's such a strong title track. Their voices in it are so good. I love the chorus. Also, the choreography for this is so good. I love them
so
like
fun.
mirroring each other. It's like so good. Ooh, I love it.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. I love it.
Okay, the next one is arguably probably my favorite on the album, Danger.
I don't know if I have one, but this one is definitely up on that list. It's
I mean, I love all of them. Like, don't get me wrong, love all of them.
I love Danger.
But right now, it's probably the one I listen to the most.
It's so good. I love it.
It really reminds me of BTS Danger era.
I know.
It's so dumb.
It's so good.
It's so dumb that my brain is just like, oh, BTS Danger era, and I just like have BTS on Danger just dance.
Here's the thing though, like as soon as I saw Danger, I was like, oh no, like I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Because it's accurate.
But it's such also like we've had a lot more like rock stuff coming from TXT in the past couple years.
It's good.
But this one is still kind of like a bit of a departure of what they've been doing.
Yeah.
And it's very refreshing. It does fall a little bit closer to like that hip hop vibe.
Yeah. And
I
love.
Very interesting and is kind of a new sound for them, which I absolutely love.
I love it. The only thing I wish is like the song was longer. Like I think Resist is the shortest one. I was gonna say it's one of the shorter
like 6 seconds.
Yeah, it's one of the shorter ones on this album, and I want it to be longer. Like I
wish all of them were longer because none of them are above 3 minutes.
No. Higher Than Heaven is the longest one at 2 minutes and 41, I think.
Yes. And considering Not by a Lot, it's like only 4 seconds longer than Over the Moon.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next one is Resist, Not Gonna Run Away.
So we're not running away?
No.
Okay.
Because Jen is also coming to us.
Wow. No, I really I really love this one. I think it's so hard for me to choose, but I think like Danger and Resist are probably the two that
Would you say that right now Resist is potentially your top one? Like at this moment, because it always fluctuates.
Yeah, I think so. It's just it's so good.
I am blurry.
So good. You are blurry. It's just so good. Like I don't know, there's something about it that I really love, and the lyric content is just so interesting in comparison to like all of the other songs that are tied to this one. Because like usually with a Runaway is like a sad song against like a drum chorus beat.
Yeah, they're very good at like hiding their sad lyrics.
Which is why it fits with like why I love them so much. Because
oh my god,
as an internal sad girl, this is.
I just did you watch their Wire autocomplete interview?
Oh yeah.
Why are TXT songs so long? Because TXT is also long.
I was like, all right, what a great explanation.
This
Thank you
is
so much for
this
that.
is so Taehyun coded, but also
I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't.
this is probably the Wired autocomplete interview I love the most, and I've watched like a lot of
Yeah, I
them.
watched a lot of them too.
Uh,
So funny.
the title of this song kind of reminded me of that, and
Yeah,
you mentioning Runaway as well.
yeah, yeah. It's really
So sorry.
funny. It's really funny.
Uh, the next one is 41 Wings, which for some reason I wasn't expecting them to choose this one as their B track for their promotions,
I think
but
it,
I'm here for it.
yeah, I think it works really well because it's like this like R&B. It's not like totally R&B, but it has
It's kind
like
of flirty.
yeah, it's like a nice like flirty vibe, and I think the choreo. Oh my God.
That's also part of why I'm like, it's very flirty.
The special stages for this particular performance. Holy hell. What are we doing? Like what are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing? It's concerning, honestly.
No, I'm mostly saying that because with all the like the challenges on TikTok and promotion for Heaven, I was kind of assuming they would probably go with that one for their like
Yeah,
B side.
I think
But
you know what it is? It's like Heaven was the like pre-release track
yeah, that
in a
makes
way,
sense.
and then we have like the actual like title track Over the Moon, and then
Yeah.
a B-side track being 41. I think it
Yeah,
makes sense.
it's like a pretty fun song, even though it's like pretty flirty.
It's flirty. The
But
lyrics are
it,
also very flirty.
yeah,
Like very
boy,
flirty. I was
yeah,
like,
boy.
oh,
I
okay.
mean, they're all adults.
Yeah.
It's
No, it's
fine.
great. No, I love it. I love flirty TXT. Don't get me wrong. Listen, I love it.
They're so funny too, because like half the time, like most of them, if not all of them, they're like when they're on stage, they're gonna be like flirty and everything, and then as soon as the performance is over, they're all super freaking shy.
They're like, I don't know what you're talking
It's
about. I'm
hilarious.
like, get out of my face, bro. Like,
They're
get out of here. Get out. I'm tired. I'm tired, bro. Tired.
yeah, and last but certainly not least, the last song on the EP is Higher Than Heaven.
Hayes' voice on
Yeah.
this track. Holy
Hasn't his
hell.
voice matured so
So
much
much.
from the last one? And it hasn't been that long.
It's so good. Honestly, his voice on this entire album,
Yeah, like
my God.
Tae's and Kai's
Yeah, have
voice
matured
has
so
matured
much.
so much, even for just
Yeah,
from the last EP, and it
yeah.
hasn't been that long.
No, it really hasn't. Yeah, Tay's high note in Higher Than Heaven, I swear, I paused and rewinded like 6 times because I was like, boy, are you for real? Currently. Like, holy hell. I also think,
And we know that he can do those live.
yeah,
I think that's the part that kills me the most.
I know. I'm like, oh my God. I also like Bumgyu's voice all over this album as well. Like him playing in that lower register that he has throughout this album is incredible. Like I'm so glad that
Yeah.
he is able to like showcase
Yeah,
his range.
like V, I'm just so glad
Yeah.
that he's finally like embracing that lower register a lot
Because
more
it's
than he's
so
had. Yeah.
good. It's so
Because
good. Like,
especially since TXT has such like
yes.
powerhouses on like the falsettos and higher
Yeah.
notes with Subin and Tae.
Yeah.
It's just so refreshing because like Kai and Yeonjun are pretty much like middle range in
Yeah.
that sense, but having Bongyu like in that lower register just gives that like very nice touch
It's so
to
good.
all of their sound.
It makes it just so much more fuller.
Yeah.
I love it in Over the Moon. I feel like he really like he sounded so good in that
Yeah.
song. Like so good.
It's
And
so
Danger
wild to
too.
me.
I
It's
feel
like
like
he's doing this like so if effortlessly. It's like
li-
it looks so easy.
yeah, and I'm just like,
And
damn.
it must not be, but he makes it look so easy.
He makes it look so effortless. Like it's
Mhm.
unreal. I also feel like Yunjin's voice too has matured a lot. And even like in
Oh,
comparison
all of them
to
really, but I feel like yeah, like Tae and Kai, at least, like,
specifically. Yeah, I agree. I feel like their voices have gotten a lot, I don't want to say deeper is not really the word, but just like more rich. Like they've gotten like a lot fuller overall.
I mean, they're getting that experience behind them as well.
Yeah.
So obviously with time and practice,
yeah,
like things will mature, like get more in like comfortable in their voices as well.
Yeah.
And
I just love the playfulness. Yeah, like I feel like this album, like this EP, they definitely like played around a lot more than their like other albums, which I really enjoyed. And especially
this album coming out like basically right after Gum
insane.
was a choice.
It was a choice. It was, listen, I'm not going to talk about high practices because I love the boys too much to not be supportive of the work that they do and how hard that they've been working up until this point. But it was a choice. It was a choice. I don't think it was the right choice. We could have waited a little bit to release this album.
They all need rest. This could have waited until like
next
first quarter of 25.
Yeah, 100% it could have.
Because I mean, while we're mentioning that, might as well wish TXT to finally rest and get well soon to Subin.
Yeah, Subin is he is on a hiatus until next year. Basically, like he's not going to be doing any of the end of year stuff. I think it probably is just like both physical and mental, but probably more on the mental side of stuff.
Yeah, but also just like he's a leader. He's basically been seeing the rest of his members as well. Just like basically, I don't want to say it like that, but I think it's the only way that I can kind of like explain it right now. It's like falling one after the other. Bumgyu's injury, and then Taehyung's injury, and then both Yeonjin and Kai were sick. And then it's like he's also having all that pressure. Then he's basically the correspondent between the company and his group. And so it must take an absolute toll.
Yeah. I'm glad that he
deserved that rest. Homeboy didn't even want to take that rest, and we're like,
go. You're fine. Take it. You're good. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm hoping with the award show at the end of the year, they at least get like some rest.
They should at this point. Like the more that like unfortunately like I understand like from a company perspective to have momentum, especially when you've been doing so well, like sales and like concerts and getting more like press and more notoriety and more awards and all of this kind of stuff. I understand that from a business perspective it makes sense to like put yourself into the light as much as possible.
Yeah, keep going.
Of course. But they're human beings, and I think that that needs to be first before anything else. Because they're not robots and they can't go forever. And as someone who's experienced being burnt out twice.
Yeah, because at some point you're gonna just kill their passion because it shows that they like what they're doing. But if you just like keep going and don't give them time to rest, it's like you've experienced it. It's like
you just don't care anymore about anything.
Yeah, it just kills you and kills your passion.
Yeah. It basically like takes away all of your like agency and because you don't care about anyone or anything, and so you're willing to like honestly you're willing to destroy things in order to get things done. And that also means like the people around you as well. I wasn't the nicest person when I was like on my burnout binge.
I completely understand.
I think like I just hope that you know like once this stuff is done that they're able to take as much of a break as possible. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to feel an obligation to us, even though I know that they do, and I know that probably Subin is like very upset by the fact that he has to take this hiatus and has to put his health first, but to me that's like the most important thing.
I also feel in a way it's kind of like a hurdle for most long-standing K-pop groups.
Yeah. I mean,
That
BTS
they
experienced it
yeah, it's like
already.
that they all have to go through at some point or another, and unfortunately, it's kind of like
Which sucks, by the way. They shouldn't
yeah,
have to do that.
no, but it's also just like you gotta it's like your fandom, like the true ones, want you and
Yeah.
will allow you to take those rests
100%.
and will be there when you come back.
Oh, yeah.
Because ultimately, yes, we love what you do. We love the music you make and all
Mm-hmm.
the everything that you do for us. But ultimately, we just want you to be happy,
Yeah,
healthy, and loving what you do.
exactly. And if that means taking a break, then take the break.
Yeah. It's like you need to recharge, you need to spend time with family, with friends, and
Honestly, and
also
also just like doing nothing.
yeah.
Like
You know, like
take some Jin
it's like
advice
veg
and do
yeah.
nothing.
Just veg on your couch.
Yeah,
Hey.
it's the
We all
best.
need days like that.
All of us need days like that.
So but yeah, all in all, we're just hoping for not just TXT, just like K-pop groups in general. It's just because we
Yeah,
are MOAs and that's kind of like what's been going on at this very moment.
yeah,
Um, but I know it's early, we're still in November, but I do hope that early 2025 can bring rest to all
yes,
K-pop groups
yeah.
and idols.
Everybody needs a rest.
Oh yeah, it's been like I don't want to just like stir that pot again, but I just kind of want to. It's just kind of easier to put my point across. Ever since 2020, it's just been a lot. And even though we're like getting past or getting past all the thing with the panini and all of that, it's been a lot for everyone. And so I
Yeah,
just want rest and recharge
yeah.
for
I
everyone.
Yeah, because it's like I know that we sort of, felt like, especially with TXT because they debuted in 2019, right? So
Yeah.
they were supposed to
Like
make,
literally like basically like 8 months before everything closed.
yeah. So I understand the like urgency to sort of like get things because we're sort of missing that space in between.
Yeah, especially with all the concerts and performances that they've been doing.
But
Because they've been doing a lot
they've been doing a
apparently.
lot. They've been doing too much, in my opinion. But like, I feel like need to say like with a grain of salt because we know
Very little.
we know very little about the internal workings of that, and we don't actually know the members' opinions
Yeah.
themselves, unless they like tell us specifically those types of things. Um, However, you can make an inference based on how many notices we have gotten over the past this year specifically. Getting
Yeah.
3 notices of members not being healthy is not a great sign.
Yeah,
So
especially for a 5-member group.
yeah, to have 3 members have notices over the past like not even like the year, but like the past like couple of months even.
Yeah.
Because Kai was sick during the Seoul like
Yeah, it was
the
Kai,
encore.
Bongyu, and then Subin.
Yeah. So
It's probably a sign.
it's probably a sign that they need to
Give them more than
stop.
like a day.
Yeah. Again, like the rollout between the albums and like concerts and solo, like I don't
Oh
know
yeah.
what we're doing
It's like
here.
this one, November 4th,
Yeah.
April 1st.
Yeah, that just and they went on like a tour like right after the
Yeah.
album was announced.
Yeah,
So
they released Minnesota 3 tomorrow on April 1st,
yeah.
then spend basically all of that time on tour.
Yeah. And the crazy
And
part of
we're recording for
yeah,
Sanctuary at the same time
at
because
the
this
same
just came
time.
out.
Yeah. Well, and I think too they had their encore in Seoul and then the day after was the release of this album,
Yeah.
which is nuts to me. I don't know why you would do it like that. Again, I like this album is incredibly amazing, and I will support this album because it's for the boys and not for the company. However, I feel like this album should have been a 2025
absolutely
release. We could have waited.
You looked at like Yeonjun's perspective as well. He had a solo comeback in the midst of all of that as well.
Yeah. Insane.
But anyway,
we'll stop ranting.
Yeah. Let's go to our songs of the week, which, not surprising, will both be a Jin song and a TXT song.
What can we say? We're predictable.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. Heart on the Window featuring Wendy. Come on. Come on.
Yep.
And then TXT also should not be any surprise since we just went over the album, but it's Resist, Not Gonna Run Away.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I don't know.
My BTS song this week is I'll Be There.
Love
by
it.
Jinnie. And my I just should say my TXT song this week is Danger.
Yeah.
From the new album. I mean, we just talked about it, so we don't really need to go into it too much, but those are our songs this week.
Yeah.
And I think that brings us to the end of this week's episode.
Sure does.
So as usual, we have a new podcast episode coming out every Thursday and a new clip coming out every Sunday at 3 p.m. EST. You can also listen to us on the go, basically on any app where you would listen to your podcasts on the go. You can also find us on our social medias at Army ThinkTank or at Army ThinkTank Podcast. And as usual, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell to be notified whenever we post a new video. On that note,
we'll see you in 2 weeks.
That's true because you're not there next week. So we'll see you in 2 weeks.
I'll see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2.
And I hope you have a very, for the US people, happy Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
And I believe we'll see you guys in December at this point.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
See you guys in December. Bye.
Bye.
Yet to come.